Hi.
We're back.
Happy Sunday, folks.
So we're trying it Sunday night, and we're going to see how this goes.
Yep.
Let us know whether you prefer, I guess, Sunday or Monday,
Tuesday, any day of the week.
Right. Sunday's nice, though, because we can do our Sunday scaries.
Yes.
Sunday scaries the night before, and then
hopefully make them less scary because you'll know what's coming.
Right. Well,
it's just like actually dealing with the personal Sunday scaries. The best defense is a good offense. Just getting all your stuff ready for Monday. So that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, it's all the fun. It's all the fun. So, so the first week is over. It was really good times.
It was. It was relatively quiet.
Yeah,
no less uneventful.
Yeah, well, I mean, they spent a lot of time fighting about like the rules.
Yes.
Which is sort of like this kind of mixed blessing, right?
It's very on brand for the.
It is on brand
for the state legislature.
Right. Yes, the House and the Senate are fighting over the rules and how the process to set the rules should be.
Yes,
it's fun.
I guess if there's no better time to fight about the rules than the beginning of the year when you're gonna have to follow the rules all year. So I don't know, but kudos for priorities. Kudos for setting those top priorities.
But, but anyway, so stuff has been in, there is some stuff circulating. There is some stuff kind of percolating.
Yeah.
Even though it's not, it might be in committees, it might be rumors, it might be stuff that they floated over the summer and they're getting ready to figure out how to do. So we're going to talk about some of that right now.
Yep.
So number one.
And even if it was a quiet week, we have not a long list. We have a good size list.
It's fine. Stuff you need to be aware of,
yes.
And stuff you need to be watching for.
Yes, and of course this first one will come as no surprise to anybody who's been paying any attention. Right. So hopefully you've been paying some attention, so you're not surprised by this one. But the top one is gerrymandering. Right on cue. We said this was going to happen on last Monday when we spoke to you last, and by Thursday, somebody had already proposed changing the makeup of the independent commission that draws out the districts for Idaho.
Yep. So keep an eye on that. Yeah, keep an eye on that. We'll probably have some rapid response stuff that we'll need done. So keep an eye on that. So keep watch on that. The other thing that has been floating actually since the summer is is the Blanksma tax. Basically, Representative Blanksma has been floating this attempt to fund Medicaid expansion by raising property taxes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the fun part of this is they spent most of last legislative session arguing with the citizens and trying to sabotage the implementation of Medicaid expansion. And when that didn't work as well as they wanted it to work, then they decided to go on a tour gaslighting the voters.
Yep.
And now they're saying, well, even though there have been various funding mechanisms for Medicaid expansion proposed, they're going to settle on this whole property tax thing and talk about possibly raising property taxes to pay for it. It's just another way for them to continue sabotaging Medicaid expansion and then gaslight the voters and say it's all your fault. So
newsflash,
yeah,
the funding is technically already there, and it will pay for itself many times over as the program gets used. Basically, just a friendly reminder. This property tax isn't necessary. It's already paid for. You already have it.
So anyway, it's good times.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yes.
So if you want to let your local legislators know that you're not in favor of this Blanksma tax, our friends at Reclaim Idaho have got a petition going. So we've got a link to that in
the description box. To your right. Ish.
I don't know. It's whatever.
It's to our right, so I'm assuming that hopefully
it's to somebody's right. Anyway, there's a link in the description box, so just go ahead and click that and sign the petition.
Yes. So another item that is on our radar from this week are issues of local control. Specifically, you get to see my terrible eyesight in action again, y'all. They are a lot of our representatives, or representatives, as Miranda here likes to say, They are trying to overturn the bans on handheld cell phone use while driving. You might remember when that was an issue here in Idaho Falls a couple of years ago, last year.
Yeah, something.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, they're trying to overturn it. Yeah.
I mean, the issue here is local control. I mean, they did this, they preemptively said you can't do like plastic bag ban. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like, I mean, it's not
And
something.
that passed successfully.
Right. But it's not,
So-
but it goes back to that whole thing where, you know, they sit here and they're like, oh, well, federalism is stupid.
Yeah.
But then they turn around and tell us we don't know how to manage our own folks. Right.
Right. And so they keep removing city government's authority to pass their own ordinances as they see fit for their communities.
Right.
So
yeah, so it's just more indication that many of the folks that we keep sending to Boise think that we're stupid and can't handle ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always fun.
Mm-hmm. I love it when people don't treat me or respect me like an adult.
I know,
Best.
right? It's super fun times.
It is, yes. Another thing on there, this will come as no surprise, this is one of the other fights of the year, is education. In various, there is a multi-pronged attack on education standards that is being mounted in the House Education Committee. 2 members of the committee have proposed repealing science standards in Idaho schools. And then Representative Moon has also, she is restarting the fight against K through 12 Common Core standards. You might remember that there were a series of town hall hearings, town hall meetings, town hall public hearings.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to call them.
Public hearings.
Public hearings.
Yeah. The state's, the Board of Education held.
Yeah. Last year
held hearings. You know, my mom actually got up and spoke. My mom's a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She got up and spoke in favor of Common Core.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to note that Common Core is not a curriculum. Common Core is a standard.
Yes.
So Common Core is not a curriculum.
Right.
Curricula can still be, you know, done by, curriculum can be done by states and by school boards and by teachers, by what fits what they need.
Right.
Common Core is a set of standards.
Yep.
It is not curriculum. I know we have to keep beating this drum over and over again, but unfortunately, folks that want to repeal Common Core like to pretend and get out there and pretend like it is a curriculum.
Right.
When it is not.
Well, they don't really have an argument unless they call it a curriculum. So
right. It's just
that's the hill they're going to die on.
So anyway, it's a set of standards that, you know, if we're in line with other states that adopt Common Core standards, then it means that we have a better chance of our students being at the same level. As somebody who moved here, you know, from another state, and anyway, it would be nice if Idaho's standards and the things that our Idaho students were learning were on par with what other kids are learning in other states.
Yes.
It'd be nice.
Speaking of somebody who moved partway through high school from one state to another, a set of uniform standards is nice, so you don't find yourself as a student in over your head in one class and way ahead of your classmates in another. It just makes the whole process a lot more streamlined. It's a lot easier on the students. I know that a lot of opponents to Common Core will say it's not, but as somebody who had to deal with wildly different standards in 2 different states, I can tell you that having a uniform set of benchmarks and things to follow as a 15-year-old would have made that move a lot easier than it was.
Benchmarks are nice.
Benchmarks are essential. Sorry, they are.
They just are.
You might not like them, but you follow them to some degree in some parts of your life.
And and then the science thing, you know, I mean, we had award-winning teachers from Idaho develop our science standards.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Idaho teachers developing Idaho science standards, and the fact that, once again, the House is trying to repeal the Idaho science standards set by Idaho teachers is ridiculous. It'd be nice if we had, you know, more teachers in the legislature, but alas, we do not.
Any teachers out there who would like to run?
Right.
If you would like to.
Be so great.
See, that is an invitation. Teachers. Please consider running for office.
Or
this
former
year.
teachers.
Or former teachers.
So yeah, next up too is something that we'd like to see. We would like to see the legislature actually address child marriage. Idaho has the highest rate of child marriage in the country. That is very disappointing. There is no minimum age for marriage here in Idaho, which is also just well, it's disgusting.
It's horrifying.
Let's
it's
be
horrifying.
honest. Yeah.
It's way more than disappointing.
It's disgusting. So last year, after Representatives Ehart and Zollinger voted to uphold the status quo, child marriage is super cool. After voting to uphold the status quo, they are claiming that they're going to present something better. We'll see. But if you want more info on, Idaho and where we stand, we've linked a post-register article.
If you would also like to talk to Representatives Ehart and Zollinger about what you would like to see in a child marriage, I would hope it's an anti-child marriage bill. I'm just gonna put it that way. What you would like to see in that sort of bill, like age minimums, parental consent issues, things like that. If you would too, there's contact information for Zollinger and Ehart in the description box as well.
Well, not in the description box, but we'll put in the first comment.
Oh, okay.
We'll have the note to all of our representatives.
Great.
Yeah.
That works too.
Yeah.
It's somewhere on this page.
You'll find it
to this
it'll
podcast.
happen.
Yes.
So yeah. Next.
Next, that's it for this week in the legislature. Stay tuned throughout the next week, and then next Sunday or whenever you're up to watch for our next legislative recap. In the meantime, things that are going on in our immediate circle. If you are interested in hearing more about the issues and also about just state party Idaho Democrats activities this year, people who are getting involved, just issues that are connected with being a Democrat in Idaho. The Idaho Democratic Party has started a podcast. It's called ID Pod, and you can actually find it on the Idaho Democrats webpage, which is idahodems.org/IDPod.
And it's there in the description.
That's idahodems.org/IDPod. It's available on multiple podcasting platforms, so just about anybody here who's interested should be able to listen to it. They've had some really good topics and guests so far.
Yeah, it's been good.
So yeah. Also, our next Central Committee meeting here in Bonneville County is coming up. That is on January 21st. That is a Tuesday. Our meetings are the third Tuesday of every month at 7:00 p.m. at the Idaho Falls Public Library.
Yep. Also, keep in mind there's a lot surrounding the Women's March this year on March 25th. We have some fun things planned. Well, I say we, but not us, the Democrats. We're not planning it.
No, but the people who are
planning it are planning it.
They're friends of us.
There's a whole committee.
Yes.
Anyway, but the committee has some cool things planned on the 24th, the evening before, on Friday before. There's going to be a special presentation by a history professor and Andrew Radke-Moss, who will be presenting about, the 100 years since the 19th Amendment and the related issues. So that should be interesting. On the 25th, of course, will be the Women's March here in town. Keep that in mind. Because we're different, because we're Idaho Falls and we're different, we are not doing it at the same time as everybody else.
No.
We are doing it a week later on the 25th. So if you really want to participate on the 18th, drive to Boise, whatever. So, but here in Idaho,
Salt Lake,
right, or Salt Lake.
Having.
Yeah. So here in Idaho Falls, on the 25th, we have some stuff going around. We've got a forum planned. There is an involvement fair where you can sign up to volunteer with a variety of places like the Food Basket, like the Soup Kitchen, Habitat for Humanity, the
Development Workshop.
The domestic violence.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Shout out to Development Workshop.
Anyway, shout out to Development Workshop. But anyway, so there'll be a variety of places where you can sign up, get involved in the community, do some good. And then also, of course, the march. The march will start at 11 a.m. in front of the Museum of Idaho. And so that should be really cool as well. So keep that in mind, put that on your schedule. Definitely get involved with the Women's March.
Yes. Yes. And then just a reminder of things that are coming up in the next few months. The presidential primary. We are having a primary this year. That is on March 10th. It's not happening, obviously, since it's a primary. It's not going to happen in a central location like caucuses have in the past. You will actually go and vote at your polling place that day. And then our caucus to select delegates to the convention.
The state convention.
The state convention, not the national convention.
Right, but the state convention.
The state convention delegate selection will be on April 4th. And I believe that one is at the library as well. So
anyway,
yeah,
lots going on the next few months. Make sure you stay involved. Make sure you stay connected.
Yes. Please leave your comments, concerns, and questions in comments below if you have any.
Yeah. And don't forget to check the first comment for link to our notes about how you can contact our legislators.
Yes. In the meantime, stay warm.